Hi, I'm Elizabeth Licata. I'm Troy-Bilt's Gardener-in-Chief. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most versatile and rewarding types of gardening that you can do, and that's container gardening. Now, in order to show you a really good range of container gardening techniques, I'm here with my friend Gordon Ballard. Gordon has put a lot of different plants in containers, and some of them are quite unexpected. Let's find out how he does it. So here I am with Gordon Ballard, Container Gardener Extraordinaire. And Gordon, let's just start out by I want to ask, why do you like containers so much?
Well, containers are so versatile around the garden, Elizabeth. If you have a tough spot in the garden, rocky soil, you can put a container there. If you have steps, stairways, concrete walkway, containers. That's the best thing for areas that are really impossible around the garden.
Can you tell me what's in this container here and what was your plan when you created it?
Well, the plan is to create kind of a cascading entrance to my front doorway here. So we have coleus, we have old-fashioned antique shades petunias, we also have the blue denim wave petunias, and we have this nice big dracaena right here acting kind of as an explosion out of this large pot. And interestingly enough, the pots on the steps here are exactly the same as this pot, only smaller in scale, but you don't even see them anymore. So the idea is that a kind of a spillway of plants down your front steps.
Now, a big part of your container gardening, and I think an important part of anyone's container gardening, are your hanging baskets and your window boxes.
Right, right.
And what you have is really the kind of window container and hanging container that is most popular now and is very natural looking, attractive, and that is the hay rack.
Right, right, yeah, lined with the coconut fiber.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very versatile, you can put them in a lot of places, and they really, with a nice combination of very dramatic plants that spill out and also are tall in the background, it really creates just a beautiful color and a beautiful statement on any wall or any fence.
So sometimes, particularly for a window box, you'll want to have some plants that kind of will fill up, stand up a little bit,
Yes.
and be full, and then other plants will spill over the
Yes.
container, and you've done that beautifully here. So Gordon, one of the things that I noticed in your container plantings that I felt was really unusual and beautiful is that you actually have a water garden in a container.
Yes, we do. In fact, we have several around the garden. We call it our low maintenance water garden, and it's really nice for the big king tut papyrus and the water hibiscus. Very easy to put them in a large glazed pot. Keep in mind, it has to be a glazed pot on the inside, otherwise your water will evaporate out through the ceramic of the pot.
If you had just clay, it would just soak right in.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure it's a completely glazed pot and does not have any drainage holes in the bottom.
I'm kind of saving the best for last because a lot of people, gardeners today, are very interested in vegetable growing. It's of course the traditional gardening, but I think there's more interested in it than there's ever been before, at least in the recent decades. And I think you have a dynamite vegetable garden, but the interesting thing about it is none of it is in the grounds. So Gordon, this is a bigger vegetable garden than many of my avid vegetable gardener friends have, yet there's something that's totally different about it, and that is?
Well, that is, there's no dirt out here. Well, actually there is dirt in the containers, but everything's growing in our driveway. So we fashioned these containers very much similar to a product that's available commercially, where the water is actually, the plants water from the bottom. So it really works well, and they grow just at such a phenomenal rate out here, and it's a very hot area in this driveway as well. Basically, you have to use two 18-gallon storage containers. One of the containers you're going to cut off the bottom about halfway down, then you're going to drill about an 8-inch hole in the middle, and then you're going to use a pond pot, a mesh pond pot, an 8 to 10-inch mesh pond pot, which you then put in the bottom of the container, and then you invert the cutoff piece down over the top of it, fit it down nice and tightly, and then you backfill it with soil to about 3 inches from the top. The one thing you want to make sure you do if you build these is support your tomato plants and support your peppers. They grow at a very fast rate, so they need a lot of vertical support. I should also mention our cucumbers on the fence. They're growing in large hay racks, and we're using the whole length of the fence to trail our cucumbers along.
Congratulations, Gordon. Looks to me like you've got way more vegetables than you're going to be able to eat this summer. So we've talked a lot about container gardening in this video, and we've looked at a lot of beautiful containers. So I think now is a time where we have to actually put the gloves on and demonstrate exactly how to plant a wonderful container. The container that I'm planting today is going to be planted according to the hallowed thriller, filler, spiller theory, which means you have a tall plant or two tall plants, and that is your thriller. Then you have plants that fill in around the sides, your fillers, and then you have plants that spill over the front, and they are your spillers. When you're planting containers, sometimes you can get dirt all over the place and make a mess, especially if it's on your patio and you don't really want to have to sweep up afterwards. So it's great to have a cart. I happen to be using a Troy-Bilt cart, which is really roomy, and you can put a lot of plants in here, a lot of dirt, your gloves, your spades, everything you need. I have one plant already in the container. This is one of my thrillers. This is a red canna plant. Then I'm going to put another thriller, a Persian shield, or a strobilanthes. And now we're going to add some of our fillers. Gordon has some nice fillers over here, 2 coleus.
Yeah, we're going to bring this coleus right in and we're going to pack it right in the back side here. As you're doing this, you also want to take a look at your plants and make sure they're in the shape you want them to be, and you want them going straight up.
Facing the way that you want them to face.
Yeah.
Then for even more filler interest and a totally different structural shape, we have these irisine. Our spiller in front is vinca vine, which is certainly one of the most dependable and almost invincible spillers that you can possibly have. Now, when you've got all your dirt in, you then water it, let that water settle, water it again until you're sure that everything is at the level that you want it to be. One more thing I'd say about this container is that it's a great container no matter where you live, any zone, any climate. The only thing is that if you're in a hotter, drier climate, you will have to water more during those very hot, dry periods that you may have. I just hope that we've gone some way towards convincing you that if you've not included container gardening in your garden repertoire, then now's the time to do it.